Introducing Cell One's new share plans. Perfect for families and friends. For only $89, two people share unlimited in-network calling, unlimited BlackBerry social, and a bunch of anytime minutes and text messages. Plus, you can add your boy or anyone else for only $9. Cell One, the power of more.
I'm Mikaela Pearman here at CON Place with Sir John Swan, where we're going to have a chat about the economy. So Sir John, you've mapped out what's wrong with the economy and suggested a range of solutions. But ultimately, what do you say is at stake here?
What is at stake is the life that we've known, this life and the lifestyle that we've known, and the quality of life that we've known is at risk. Mm-hmm. It's at risk because number one, there's a global change that's taken place that's calling on resources or offering people opportunities outside of Bermuda. Number two is some of our own actions that we have done that have caused a deterioration in our in the amount of economic activity. As I've said before, and I'll keep saying it over and over again, we were at our best years when there were approximately 40,000 employees in Bermuda. Okay. That now is down to 37,000, maybe 36,500. And the majority of that amount of people that are not working are people who have left Bermuda. So we have earners of foreign currency that causes money to be pumped into our economy that creates jobs.
Okay. So we have people losing jobs, you have the government heavy in debt. Is this Bermuda's fault, or is this because of the global recession?
Well, you know, it's so easy to blame things on the global recession. Right. You know, I just got through building a building. It would be so easy to say, well, you know, the market's bad and I can't get tenants. Mm-hmm. We in this office here work very hard to get tenants, and we've got tenants. We've got 70% of the building rented. Okay. We've got to sort of decide that, you know, it's like Pogo said, I found the enemy is me. Well, Bermudians have to say, first, you know, we are the cause of the problem. Okay. We can fix it, but what it takes to fix, we've got to be prepared to be tolerant of it, mm-hmm. Sensitive, and be prepared to give the service that's necessary to make it work.
And one of your suggestions was to give guest workers more security, but do you think there's a risk of squeezing Bermudians out of the job market?
No, I don't. I'll tell you why. There are as I said, about 3,000 to 3,500 jobs. Mm-hmm. The unemployment for Bermuda right now is something standing probably about 4%, 5% right. Mm-hmm. of Bermudians. It's 27 Bermudians workforce. Okay. So you look at it, there's a small amount of Bermudians out there for the amount of activity that we need to create, and it's the foreign workers who come with their skills, particularly in the international business, right. financial service business, legal business, that they themselves create jobs for Bermudians to do. Okay. So I think a lot of the threat is in the more domestic, a lot of threats in the more hotel industry and service industries, and some obviously in the financial service industry. But we tend to make these generalizations mm-hmm. that it's all bad and it's all being taken away. And yet when you create these opportunities for Bermudians, particularly in the service area, they show up or they don't show up, they right. do the job, they don't stay, mm-hmm. And then they wonder why. And all that, what they're doing in some of them is the case is, I went to get a job because they can tell government, I went to get a job, I couldn't find one because that's the government's criteria for giving you aid. Right. So, you know, it's a bit of a scam going on, and it's being played out well, and the more noise you make, the more government believes the fact that you actually can find a job. We've got to get out of this idea that we have all these Bermudians that can fill those jobs. Right. We know it's not true, we know it's a lie, all the Bermudians know it's a lie, but they keep perpetuating this lie, and they take a few people, that might have some ill effect from what's been going on, mm-hmm. and they make it a whole generalization. It's like going on a beach and saying because you see one swallow on a beach, you think it's summertime, and you know it's wintertime. Right. It's just not right. And we've been telling lies and falsehoods and playing a game that is worked against us now. In other words, it might have worked for us for a while, mm-hmm. But now it's working against us because we have no money, we don't have the savings, we don't have the credit, we don't have the government who can support us, and we don't have a big brother that can come to our rescue.
Right.
Now, we're not running them very well either, and they continue not to be run very well because they don't have the product. They've got lousy management. I mean, when Columbia Admirals came to Bermuda, they set up with assets. The store business just jumped up in the air. When they left, the store business went back down to normal again.
Okay.
So, but not normal, went down back where it started from. So, again, we create these sort of like, somehow or the other, these myths. Now you ask the question, is it going to affect Bermudian? Bermudian. We will still hold on to the real estate, we'll still get the rents coming in, and we probably get more rents because if then what happens is the demand for the supply increases, the places get fixed up, so you have construction, so you have places being fixed up. You have businesses, if somebody invests in a business, it's not as disastrous if they fail if they're a foreigner, but if a Bermudian fails, you fail the whole family. So, and that's what's been happening. So it's a win-win situation, and government still has the legislation, the sovereign right over what happens in Bermuda. It's not like we're saying, you can come, you can own a business in Bermuda, and therefore you've got a carte blanche to do what you want to do. That's not, they still got to conform with the laws. Now, this to me would help to save houses, because all of a sudden, you have people coming in, they want to rent a place. Right. You have people coming in, they want to hire people. They want to fix up their shop to make it look like it's, because you don't want most of those shops along Front Street and Reed Street to be that type of symbol, so they fix them up. And the end result is you've got employment, you have places that are being rented, you have small contractors doing renovations and doing fix-ups and so forth. You have landlords who...
And then what would you say are some of the tangible signs of Bermudians hurting in the recession?
Oh, well, we put the tangible signs, we put it in our unemployment, mortgage stress, people who used to get, and they earn money from business that no longer get dividends from it. The fall off in unearned income, in other words, whether it's mortgages, whether it's investments, and so forth, and government's inability to help the way it might have helped had it been earning more money or it owed less money. So it is a whole range of things, and that's putting stress on families. Right. That's putting stress on young people who ends up in the drug, because sometimes they're so desperate for money that they end up thinking, well, you know, if I just get some drugs and sell it, I'll have some money, maybe I can help my grandmother, I can help my mother, I can help my sister. You know, the bills still have to be paid. Right. People, you know, the necessities have to be met. Food, shelter has to be met. You can't live in Bermuda with this climate unless you've got somebody to put a roof over your head. And you don't want somebody putting out your mother, your grandmother out. So you go out and you do silly things sometimes that you ordinarily wouldn't do. If I were a young person in school right now, I'd be very discouraged thinking, well, why am I getting education? There's nothing in here for me. You hear them talking now. I hear them talk. You got to listen to these young people. They send you the signals. And they're saying, why would I want to? There's nothing here in Bermuda for me. Right. And I don't know where to go. I know that what I hear about America, I don't want to live there. What I hear about England, I don't want to live there. And so why bother with education? We've got to get our people back to the idea that Bermuda has relevance, that it has an order, and that they can fit into the order, and they can fit into the relevance.
And then finally, you say that your comments are about the economy and not about politics. Is there a coincidence that we're building up to an election?
You know, I told people, and people I think accepted, that I've stayed out of politics. Right. I wanted to always look after bigger Bermuda. I've served my time in politics. I've done my stint. Right. I've seen what it is, what we can do, because I was involved with the treaty and with building Bermuda up to a stage that prepared us for the 21st century. Yeah. I see us slipping in that stage, and I don't feel as though I could sit back and wait and wait and wait to do something about it. Okay. So when I looked at the stats and saw the predicament that we're in, both in the private sector and the public sector, I realized the fact that I don't know when the election's going to be called, but I do know that if you leave it much longer, You can call elections you want. You can have all the elections you want. That won't solve the problem. We need to get people back to feeling good about what Bermuda has to offer them. And it's not going to be by paranoia, schizophrenic, racial sort of innuendos suggesting that whites are richer than blacks and whites have got this and we should not do this because of that. At the end of the day, we need whites, particularly foreign whites, because that's what they are. And they got the money, they got the know-how, and what we need to do is partner with them so that they can treat us with civility and we treat them with civility. And we build this Bermuda that is capable of getting off its back with its own now. And we're not going to do it by way of just simply saying, when is the American recession over so we can get back to where we were? That period's finished.
So Sir John, are there reasons to be optimistic right now?
I wish I could say yes, but I'd be lying and trying to be a nice John Swan. I think we've got some hurdles to get over. And I think until we sit down at a table and have discussions at your dinner table, the government sits around the cabinet table, the government meets with the opposition, the government meets with other interested parties, until we as a country start to sort of just have a dialogue about what needs to get done and agree what should get done, have a master plan. Because what we want to be able to say to the world, we're back open for business. Right. We've been closed down. We've been closing ourselves down. Then I might be optimistic. Okay. You ask me, can it be done? The answer is yes. Can it be done? Yes. Can we do it? It's a $64 question, you know. As Barack Obama says, we can, we will. I say, let's do it. And I hope that we have the will, and I hope we can do it. But it's going to take all of us collectively to get it done.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Introducing Cell One's new share plans. Perfect for families and friends. For only $89, two people share unlimited in-network calling, unlimited BlackBerry social, and a bunch of anytime minutes and text messages. Plus, you can add your boy or anyone else for only $9. Cell One, the power of more.